So today, I want to start with a poll really fast. Let me get that poll in action. The poll has two questions. The first question is, would you like to do some interim review? So we're having interims on Friday. They are shortened. They only have 20 questions instead of 60. Yeah, let's get some thumbs up for that. Because they're a third as long. That's amazing. Interims are happening on Friday though. And I want to know, do you want to prepare on Thursday, or would you prefer that we just like low key prepare? So tell me, do you want to do some interim review? And then the second question is, PS, how are you? Are you a 0? Like you're totally terrible, the worst you've ever been ever. It sucks. And I get that. Or 10 is like you're amazing, awesome, fantastic. If you are a meh, like the meh option, I feel like is like a 2 or a 3. Like meh is like 2, 3, 4. I don't know, one of those. But this is like a true scale from 0, terrible, to 10, amazing and awesome. Who are you? Right? Who are you? Yes. So you're answering that question. I've got 80 of you voted. That's great. Awesome. Pumped to have you. If you're just joining us, Gally, throw that link in the chat for me, please. Thank you, Gally, right on cue. If you're just joining us, take attendance, also fill out my poll. Do you want to do some interim review on Thursday? It's looking positive. And then, how are you? Would love to know how you are. All right, I've got most of you voted. I got some cameras on. Thanks for turning those cameras on, peeps. I'm gonna give it about 20 more seconds. Vote, vote, vote. Drink some water if you've already voted. Water is always good. Five seconds. Get those votes in. That's right. Here we go. I'm ending this poll. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share the results here. It looks like most people, well, the majority of people are in the sure, that's fine, but a lot of yes, pleases. So we'll do some interim review on Thursday because it looks like 86% of us would like that. So I'm here for it. I'll do some interim review. And then PS, how are you? There are, I mean, a whole bunch of us, a lot of 5s, mostly 5s, biggest proportion was 5s, and then some 7s, some awesome, some amazing, some sucky. So I hear you. We're all in different places here. So we will make that happen. We'll make the interim review happen, and hopefully we'll make our day just a little bit better in math class today. All right, I am going to stop sharing the poll. We are going to move on in our agenda here. So first things first, we're going to do announcements, do some student highlights. We will quickly review slanted lines because that's our goal for today. I'll walk through some examples on my Colorado Desmos, and then we'll have some work time today. So first things first, announcements. Bonus office hours are happening today. They're happening at 3 p.m. on Mr. Langdon's Zoom. So I know some of you guys dropped by yesterday. You can drop by today. Would love to see y'all there. I will probably be there around 3:30, probably not at 3. So please do come through anytime. Cool. We're done with announcements. We're going to jump into some student highlights. Y'all, I was so impressed by, bonus office hours. We'll be able to retake any test. Yes, pre-calculus. You may retake tests in bonus office hours if you have any tests to retake. So if you want to retake, come through. Okay, I wanted to shout out some amazing work that I saw had been done. Like, look at this, man. Lily's making a bear over here. Giselle's got this leaf going on. Isaiah's got a full H happening. Roxana is like kicking some butt. I'm starting to see like some house shape here. Got some nice curves. We weren't even working on curves yet. And I'm seeing some like rock stars here. Diana killing the game over here. Daryl's got this UA happening. I'm a huge fan of that. So just wanted to shout out these people as well as these people. Nayeli rocking this like Texas star here. Gracia with her, I think it's like a, I don't know, a BC, I think if I remember correctly. Joy rocking some like small lines that are starting to make her shape come through. Melanie's UN making it happen. And Wendy, I was impressed by this big, huge curve line. I appreciate that. They all are looking really good. Even if you're not on here, I really appreciated how awesome you guys got started. And I think that you guys got off to a really awesome place. So proud of you. Wanted to shout out you guys for making that happen. I have two ways that you can work smarter and not harder. Number one, please, please, please make sure that you are, if you're working with a partner, that your logo has not moved, right? So what might happen is that your logo might get kind of like scrunched or changed. So just make sure that you are not moving this little like picture at all. One way that you can know is if you and your partner have the same like width 10 and width 14. So I know that those two are not the same, right? So I want to be really careful. We stopped a couple teams from making that mistake, so no big deal at all. But want to make sure that you, if you are working with a partner, make sure that your center, your width, your angle, your height, and your opacity can change, but the first four, make sure that they're not changing so that you don't get two funky logos. Additionally, the second way to work smarter, not harder, is to talk to each other. So please make sure that you're not making the same lines. So if you have the blue, so like this person obviously did the blue side and this other person did the black side, but they both made the circle. So just make sure that you are not like doubling up on work. I saw, I think 2 or 3 groups where people were making the same lines. And I was like, oh, that kind of defeats the purpose of working in a team, right? Because if you're in a team, then you want to make sure that everybody's doing a different piece of it. So do talk to each other if you can. Gally, if you could throw that attendance link in the chat one more time, please, that would be great. All right. We are gonna jump into another poll here. Big day on the polls. I just want to know, how is your logo going? How's your logo going? Like, you're doing great, you're doing good, you're doing okay. I have some questions. Logo, what logo? So if you haven't started, you could choose that one. And then how many, thank you, Stephanie. How many lines have you created so far? Is that second question. Any of those answers is okay. I just want to know where you're at. And then, are you worried about yourself or your partner or your team? Let us know how you're doing. Take a moment to vote there. If you've already voted, grab some water. Right. Give about 20 more seconds here. Throw that in. How's your logo going? How many lines have you made so far? Are you worried? Awesome. All right. 10, 9, 8. Coming back in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, so I'll share these results. So it looks like, as far as how our logo is going, looks like most of us are feeling great, good, or okay. That's awesome. 6 people selected that they have some questions, and 4 people were like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, and then 1 person in the chat that their logo is going to make them cry. I feel that. I hear you. We're in an okay place right now. Most people have created between 11 and 20 lines. I also wouldn't be surprised if our logos go above 100 for sure. I think there's going to be tons of lines. The most I've ever seen is 1,400, like 1,400 lines. And that was a lot. It was Kenny and who was Kenny's partner? Oh, shoot. I don't remember. Our Transylvania friends. I can't remember, but a lot of lines. 1,400 was the line, yes. 1,400. I'm checking this chat now. Shoot, why can I not remember who the other person was? Hold on. I'm gonna look it up because they deserve to get some credit for that. Let me see. It was, oh, Rochelle Conmas. Rochelle and Kenny hit it with that Transylvania 1,400. Yeah, 1,400. They had so much time, so much place. They did Transylvania University, which is like the one with the bat on it. Mia, thank you for letting me know. Gally, if you could pop the link in the chat, please. If you have not yet completed the last assignment, it is okay. We're still in the middle of making our logos, so you have time to catch up today. And if you're not feeling motivated to do a ton of work right now, I also understand that. I want to help motivate you. I think this could be a really cool project, but I also understand that our motivation is tough to come by sometimes, so appreciate that. It also looks like most people are, well, 15 people are worried about themselves, 5 people are worried about their partner, 1 person's worried about their team, and 72 people are not worried. So that is good. I'm glad most of us are not worried. But if you are worried about yourself, do go ahead and shoot me an email. That's the best way for me to get you some one-on-one support, or come to office hours. We'll make that happen for you. Awesome. All right, team, let us jump into our next item. We are done with our shout outs. We're going to do a quick review of slanted lines, and that's going to lead us into a walkthrough example on Desktop. So just as a reminder, slanted lines are sloped lines. They're lines that come with a slope. So we have our positive slope going up and our negative slope going down. So if I'm trying to do this line right here on my logo, right, I'm just going to estimate how much up or down or how much to the right. So this is going down 4-ish and over 3-ish. I'm just estimating. I'm like counting these little boxes. So I want to start with negative 4 over 3x because I'm going down 4 and over 3, right? So that's the slope I'm going to start with. Once I have my slope, I'm going to move on to the y-intercept. And I'm basically, I should make this negative. Once I have like the line going, I want to estimate like where is this line going to cross the y-axis? Probably around 34 maybe, and I'll put 34 here. I might change it eventually to like 33.8 or 35, right? Or 33, right? I might end up changing it, but that'll help me get to where I want it to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out the slope. And the next thing that I'm going to do is estimate the y-intercept. That will help me to get close. So today we are going to make some lines. So let's say this is my logo. First thing I'm going to do, you should already have some lines on here, right? So make sure that you have the ones for lines. I just didn't save mine. Whoops. And so I don't have any lines on mine yet. So you're going to click and hold here so you can make it a little bit lighter so that your eyes can actually see what they're doing. And then let's say I want to make this line here. I see that I'm going down basically maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put in y equals negative 5 over 4x. I put over by putting the slash, like the divide by. And then that's going to make this line down here. I want to move it up here. So I'm thinking, okay, I want it to go through like maybe like 33-ish. So I'm going to put plus 33. So I got pretty close. Once it's closer, I can see that it's a little bit off. It's not quite at the right slope level, right? Not quite at the right slope. So what I'm going to do is change the slope. It was at 5 over 4, maybe 5 over 5. That's not looking quite the same slope. Maybe 5 over 3, 3.5. And now I see they're running parallel to each other. And now I'm going to move it up to meet the line where it's at. So instead of 34, maybe, or 33, maybe 34, 35, 36 is too far, 35.5. That works perfectly. So now that I see that my line is where I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. So 7.15, let's say 7.15 plus the next. And then I wanted to cut down here at 10.82. I'm going to say 10.82, like that. And that's how I make a sloped line. If you would prefer, Brandon, yes, I'll get there in a second. If you would prefer, there is an option to use sliders, y equals mx plus b, like this. You can use a slider, you type in y equals mx plus b, press all, and then that's gonna make a line that looks like this, right? It's gonna make a line that looks like this, and then you can move this. So let's say I was gonna make maybe this line right here. You can move it to be where, like the distance that you can move it to be parallel, and then you can move the b to where it matches up. And then you would say, okay, my m is 6.7, so I'm going to take away m and put in 6.7. My b is negative 7.3. I'm going to take away this and put negative 7.3, like that. And then now when I delete the sliders, my line will not move, right? So you can use sliders if you would prefer to not count, right? So I would start at 3.1, is less than x, and go to the right, 3.9, 3.9, like that. Right, so that's how I would make two sloped lines. You can decide which way you would like to do it. The sliders can be a little more complicated sometimes. Okay, I am going to go over parabolas that go, I'm also going to go over parabolas today. So if you would like to stay and learn about parabolas, you're welcome to. I'm not releasing you to leave your class, but I am going to open up the breakout rooms. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout room so you can work with your team. If you want to, I hear some people logging off. You should not be logging off. Don't log off. There's no reason to. I'm going to open up the room so you can work with your team. If you hypothetically already finished the logo, you should check how many curved lines you have. Each partner needs to have at least 10 curved lines, like parabola lines. So if you don't have that many lines, then you won't be able to receive an A on the project. So you might want to stick around and ask me how to make your line more complicated. If you have tons and tons of curved lines and you just spent your whole weekend working on it, then stick around or send me the link so I can just double check that it's complicated enough before you get too complicated, or before you sign up. So JR, just send me the link so I can double check. Right. Look along with my group study. Cool. All right, I'm going to open up these rooms. You can head into your rooms if you would like to. If you are one of the people who is on this list, if you see your name here, so if you're Cameron or Anthony, you still need a logo. If you're one of these 10 people here, you still need a logo and a college, so stick around for me. If you are in yellow here, I am missing your PT4, right? I'm missing your PT4. So I am hoping that I'm going to see your PT4 and 5 today. That would mean that you have at least 20 total lines, right? 20 total lines. So Brandon, let's do parabolas. So let's say I want to make this parabola up here, right? This parabola up here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with y equals a, I'm going to start with number 1, x minus 1 squared, and then plus 1, right? That just makes like a general curve here. And then I'm going to go all the way up to the top, and I want to make it go to the center of this parabola. So I'm going to estimate the center is like right around here. And the x value there is like 6. So at 6, I'm going to say, instead of the x being 1, I'm going to move it to 6. That's going to move it over. And then I need to go ahead and move it up. So I'm going to say, okay, that's around 34. I'm going to change this number to 34. I can see, okay, that's not quite, maybe 34 and a half. I'm going to say 34 and a half, like that. I need it to flip over. right? So I'm gonna remember I'm gonna use my negative to make it flip over. And then I need to make it wider. So notice with 1, if I turn this into a 2, it gets skinnier. If I turn it into a decimal, like 0.5, it gets wider. So I'm going to make it smaller and smaller decimal. Okay, so I have 1.1, so 0.01, 0.02. 0.02 looks like it might be pretty good. I just need to move it over a little bit so I don't run out of this section. So I might say instead of 6, I might try 5. And now it doesn't quite work over there, so maybe 5.5. So then it's a little off on both sides. I might make this a little wider then, like 1. 1's way too much, 1.9 or 1.8. That looks pretty good. And then I would start off by cutting it, right? So this number here, the number in front, would make it wider. The number here would be left and right. The number here would be up and down. There's also a video attached on Canvas if you'd like to see another example of a parabola there. Brandon, that one does up or down. Does that make sense for the up or down one? Awesome. If you want to make a left or right one, can I do another example? Yes, I can. I'm going to go to that later. I will also do a left, like a turned one. So Wendy, let's say that I'm doing like this, maybe this one over here, right? I'm going to cut this off at -10, just so it's on their way. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to start with y equals 1, parentheses, x plus 1 squared plus 1, like that. So that's over here. I want to move it over here. I'm thinking the center is going to be right here, and it's going to go like over here and over there, like this. So I'm going to put the center right here. That's like about -20. So I'm going to say instead of 1, I'm going to try 20. So that moves it over. And then I need to move it up to maybe 19. So instead of this one, I'm going to put 19. So that sort of dropped it onto that part, maybe a little bit farther, 20.5 moves it over. I need to flip it upside down. So I'm going to put a negative in front. Okay. And then I need to make it really wide. So I used decimals before. You can also use fractions like 1/2, 1/5, 1/10, 1/20, 1/25. Okay, so 225, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That 29 is maybe looking too far, maybe 27. When I zoom in, I see like, that's pretty good. I want to go from basically here to here. So I can cut it off around -33 plus an x. And I want to go up to -20.5. So put here, -20.5, like that. Wendy, does that help for another example? Yes, awesome, cool. Peyton, I am gonna put you, there's a group asking for help. I'm gonna pop you into that room.
Your entire family.
Okay.
Cool, thank you. Awesome, cool, Wendy. Okay, so let's say I would prefer that I have a sideways parabola, right? A sideways parabola. So the sideways parabola is the exact same thing, y equals 1, x plus 1 squared, plus 1 like that. But instead of y, I'm going to put x, and instead of x, I'm going to put y. So I'm switching x and y's position, the inverse. So when you find that inverse, you're going to see that it creates a sideways parabola here, right? Sideways parabola. So I want to move that over. Let's say I'm trying to do like this part here, and move that over here. So -40 is my x. So if I normally would put that here. I want to put -40. Oh, that moves it up there though. I don't want to move it up, so I'm going to put the 1 back. Now I'll put 40 over here. 40 went to that side, so I'm going to try -40. Aha, so that moved over to where I want it to be, right? I'm going to move it up here to like maybe 10. So instead of -1, I'm going to try -10, like that. I see I might need to go up a little higher, maybe 11, or maybe 10.5, and then out a little farther, maybe 40.5, something like that. Right. Notice now I want to make it wider. So instead of 1, I might try 1/2, 1/3, 1/4. Looking pretty good. Maybe at 1/5, 1/4. You can always do 0.5, something like that too. And then, so I'm going to cut it off right here, and then it looks like it stops being right about here. So I'm going to cut it off from here to here, right? So because this has x equals, I'm going to use my y here. So here the y is 6.37, right? So I'm not using the x, I'm using the y. So I have 6.37 is less than y. And then I want to go up to around maybe here. And the y value there is 13.12, 13.12. So let me go here, 13.12. So when you make a sideways parabola, you have to cut it off using the y-axis. The y-axis there. Awesome. Brandon, does that help with the sideways one? Awesome. Awesome. Glad that helps. Cool. Okay. For my people who are still here with me, I would love to chat with those of you who need me. How do I cut off the lines? You cut off the lines using the bracket section here. So you want to use, if it says y equal, if your equation starts with y equals, then you'll see that the bracket has an x. And then if you have x equals, then your bracket has a y. For most of them, we're going to use the x, because most of them start with y. So let's say I'm making this line. We'll go back to this one here. So let's say I'm making this line that makes the edge of this C here, right? So I'm going to go to where I want it to start on the left side. I'm going to click and hold. You say, okay, the x value, right? So remember that point right there is x comma y. The x value is 7.1. So I want it to start, I'm going to put my bracket, 7.1 is less than x. I want all of the x's that are greater than 7.1, so everything on this side. I want it to stop right here, right? So the x value there is 10.84. So I want it to stop at 10.84. So I want this line to go on the x's between 7.1 and 10.84, between 7.1 and 10.84. So this part right here is how I cut off the line. So I cut off lines. Gabby, to make a U, you would use the parabola. So you're going to start with y equals 1, parentheses, x plus 1, squared plus 1. You're going to start like that. And that's going to make this like blue line here. And then you change the ones. Each of the different ones moves it a different direction. So if you change 1 into 1/2 or 1/4 or 1/10, it will get wider. If you change the 1 to a 2 or a 5 or a 9, it's going to get skinnier. If you change it to a negative number, it will flip over. If you change the 1, it will move like to that side. If you change this one on the outside, it will move up and down. If you put +10 or -10. Does that make sense? I thought you said okay. Awesome. Okay, team. For those of us who are still here, Adrian, if you could privately message me, Adrian, how are you doing? I am missing your part 4. Brandon, it looks good. Yes, Wendy, send me your link. Brandon G, did you need to go to a room? Yes, whose room did you need to go to? What college? Or solo? I forget. Oh, maybe he went. Yes, he did. Wendy, I'm gonna check your lines if you can save your work and then send me the link. Nick, it looks like I got your PT4. Nick, did you need to go to a room? Emiliano, did you have a question? Melanie, did you have a question? Melissa, do you want to show me what you have so far? I saw that you said, okay, Emiliano. Emiliano, you can join that breakout room if you would like it to be quieter. Fine, okay. Stephanie, I'm gonna try to make you a co-host. Oh, you have to go in a little bit, but I'm gonna try to make you a co-host. Can you see if you can like pop around the breakout rooms when I make you a co-host? Thank you. Perfect. Awesome. All right, Nick. No, you're good to go. You can stay here. Yeah, Melanie, I can check your lines. Just send me your thingamabob, your link. Awesome. Steph, can you pop into a couple rooms and just see if anybody needs help? Yeah, Brandon, tell me what college? Oregon? Yeah, Oregon. Cool. You should be good. Melissa, did you want to go to a breakout room? Or Moses, did you want to go to a breakout room? I think Gary is in there. Let me check and see.
I was in there.
Oh, you were in there. Did you come for a question?
No, it was just getting too quiet.
Oh, you just wanted to listen.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna open up these links that I've gotten. Wendy's got it with Pomona, Melanie, working on 2 cents. Okay. Wendy, looking good. Tell me, is there one that you want to focus on or one that you want help on? Wendy, are you there? Oh, the algebra. Yeah, these are looking fine because at the end of the day, Wendy, you're actually going to take this away and it's going to be what it looks like, without your background on it. So one thing I might work on is like here I can see like a little gap here. Here I can see that these are broken off, and it's actually pretty simple to fix these. You just click on where you want them to like connect. So this one's stopping at -18, but you really want it to stop at 17.07. So just quickly change this to 17.07, and then it will be more exact. And then you click on the red one, and the red one right now is going down to -41, and you really want it to go to like -36. So then you would just change this to 36, like that, 36.5, maybe like that. So I think these are looking good. I would just like trim up some of these and make them like more careful. But these look good to me, Wendy. Good job. All right, Melanie. Looking awesome, Melanie. Wow. Wow, good job. Great job, great job. Hi, Peyton, welcome back. We're just looking at Melanie's awesome thing. Did you get them sorted out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You have to go to math in a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, you can head out there if you'd like.
Okay. Goodbye, miss.
Bye. Nebu, for the homework is to make 10 more lines. So you're going to work on your same one that you were like working on before. So if you need to go back to PT4, like the last thing that you submitted, you're going to go back to that link and then it will bring back like your lines and then you're going to keep working on that one. Or you can log into Desmos. You can go here and log in. And then it will be, once you log in, it'll be on the side here. You'll click on yours. All right. Melanie, what did you want to part with on your thing? You're welcome, Nabil. Melanie, you can come off mute if you'd like.
I need help on doing the curves.
For the letters?
Yeah, I'm having trouble doing it with the letters for the curves.
Like the C?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. You're a rock star. Have fun in AP. Okay, so what you should do, Mel, is you should start with, wow, so many lines. Hundreds of lines, Melanie. Wow, 242 lines. I'm so impressed. That's amazing. Snaps for you, Mel. That is awesome. So we have here, I just want you to start with y equals 1, x plus 1. Were you here when we were talking about this? Like what you should just start with?
Yeah.
Okay, so always start with this, and then it's going to be like up here, right? It's going to be up there. So we're going to like try to make it over here. So what I do have to do first is put a negative in front to flip it over. That's going to flip it over. And then I need to move it over here. And the center of this curve is like at like negative 30 on the x. So for x, I'm going to put 30 here instead. Okay, so that moves it over. And then I want to move it down here to like maybe negative 15. So I'm going to change this number to negative 15. And that's going to move it down. So now it's closer, right? Closer like that. Because now I can see like, oh, it needs to be a little bit more, maybe 30.5. Oh, that's the wrong direction. That's not the one I want. Maybe 29.5. Maybe that's closer to the center. And move it down a little bit more, maybe 15.5, like that, right? Now that I'm there, maybe I'm like, oh yeah, 7, something like that. Does that make sense, Mel? How to like get it centered?
Yeah, but how do I like widen it to go to the lines? That part I'm like confused on.
Yeah, that's just you change this 1 right here. So you change the 1 to like 1/2 or 1/3 or 4 or 5. Looks like 1/5 might be the best one.
Thank you.
Put a fraction here. No problem. Good job. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hi. We started a little early, but that was my bad for not emailing you earlier enough. So I'm just gonna send you into your group in order to work with them. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also gonna let me drop the link in for the attendance before I do anything. But you're not in trouble or anything. It was my bad. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. All right. Yes, Diana, I'm happy to help you. Can you go ahead and send me your link? Send me your link. And then Emma, what's the name of your college? Oh, you're with Layla, you're Brown, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Come on, go. I don't know if that works. Actually, that didn't work. Don't press that. Go there. Okay, you're good. Hello, Mia, Sarai, Jennifer, Diana. No problem. It's no problem, Mia. I hear you. Okay, if anybody is interested in me helping them, I would love to see your see what you have, even if it's blank. So just send me the link that you're working with, and just tell me what you want me to help you on, and that would be great. So Diana, we're working on cutting a sideways parabola. Cool, I'm here for that. Brandon, slanted lines just means sloped lines, like not straight up and down and not flat, right? So anything that's like tilted a little bit. That's what slanted lines means. Cool. Hi, y'all. If you're here to get some help, let me know. So this is the line you want to cut off, Diana?
Yes, it's the one on the S, that one.
Cool. Do you want to move it like up just a smidge so that it's like more rounded like this, or do you like it how it is?
I think move it a little bit up.
A little up, maybe like 2, like that?
Yes, that looks fine.
Cool, cool. Okay, and then maybe you want to cut it off like right here, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so because this one starts with x equals, we have to look at the y value there. What's the y right there?
Negative 30.46.
Mm-hmm. But negative 30.4 is less than y in that case. See how then it starts right there?
Yeah.
And then we want it to go up to like maybe like right here, right?
Yes. So
Or you can do it over, you want to do it out here?
I think the bottom one would be better.
This one?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it would be negative
What?
29.
0.97, right? So I'm going to go out here and put negative 29.97. And that's how you can cut it off like that.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. Did you know, Diana, that you can like press and hold this? And if you press and hold it on the little circle, you can like make it lighter so you can actually see what you're doing.
Oh, I did not see that. Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. It's a little hard when you have dark colors. Should be good. Did you get this one written down? Because it's not going to save onto yours.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, perfect. Do it up while I check the chat. Brandon, you can do parabolas instead if you don't have slanted lines. You can do parabolas. So they don't have to be straight lines. They can be parabolas. Awesome, Diana. Sounds good. No problem, Brandon. All right, Mia, let's check this out. Columbia. Cool. Okay. So, Mia, you're fine. No big deal. Where are we? Are you doing the left side, the right side, the bottom, the crown, the letters? What do you want to work on? The outline, like the box around the outside. Okay. So if I want, it looks like you got the green line to cut off, but it looks like you want to have it up here, I think is what you're saying. So right now you have these are the restrictions, which is awesome. So I love the, I think let's work with the green line for now. So the reason that the green line is cutting off is because the Y and the X are opposites of each other. So because this one's X equals, we need to have this be a Y like that. So that's going to cut it off like that. If I want to move it up here, right, just like a y equals line, if I want to move this green line up here, then I would say something like y equals 50, because up there on the y-axis, it equals 50. So that's why it would cut off at 50, right? So I want it to go from here to here. If I want to move the red one, right now it's just saying x equals nothing, right? Like x equals 0. So you want to move it maybe over here, x equals, it looks like 50 right here. I'm going to put 50 and it'll move out like that, right? If I want to do the other side over here is where x equals negative 50. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now x equals negative 50 like that. And then I want it to go from negative 50 to positive 50. So I'm going to put here, negative 50 is less than, since this is x, I'm going to put y, and then positive 50, like that. The same thing for the green line. I'm basically going to just copy this green line. It's going to make a blue line up there, but I want it to be at negative 50. So I'm going to have y equals negative 50, like that. Now I can see I have the box. And you have a really dark one too, so it might be helpful to press and hold right here and click one of these other ones that are like a little lighter, so you can kind of see what you're doing a little bit more. You're welcome, Mia. So then, Mia, are you doing the left side or are you doing the right side of the logo? Oh, Mia, you have a partner, right? Yeah, it's Faith. So you and Faith aren't gonna both do the whole thing. You should split it up into like Faith is doing part of the logo and you're doing another part of the logo. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should go back and ask her what she means by, maybe like you can ask her how you can help out more now that you've already done the outline, because now you have all of the equations. So maybe she meant something different by outline. Cool. David, no problem. I'm glad you're reaching out. Send me your link. So go ahead and go up here, press save, and then take this link and send it to me in the chat, please, David M. Nayeli, what if there are parts that only curve very slightly? I chose to do slanted lines, but I don't know if there is a better way. Nayeli, can you send me your link so I can see what you're talking about? Awesome. Can you tell me which line I'm looking at here, Nayeli? You can come off mute if you want. You don't have to type. Towards the bottom. So first thing, Nayeli, since you have a really dark logo, oh, it's not working well, okay. Since you have a really dark logo, it might be helpful if you press and hold on here, and then you can choose how dark you want it to be. So you can choose something like that. Oh, I see what you mean. So you chose to do this line instead of that like slant. I think that's fine, Nayeli, because we are not actually going to look at your logo like this. We're going to look at your logo like this. So if you as long as you feel comfortable with this line looking like that, based on how it looks, then you can leave it as a straight line. If you want, you could do a parabola, my guess, but I actually think like maybe just moving it up a little bit. So you can click on it to find it, and then maybe just moving this up to like maybe 2. Maybe something like that might be like a little closer, extending this line to meet it here, and then maybe cutting it off a little bit earlier so you can go straight down that direction. Does that make sense, Natalie? Yeah, cool. Does that answer your question? Yeah, I think it's up to you. You're the artist in this particular instance. Okay, so. All right, if you're welcome, no problem. If you are joining me, if you're just popping in here and you need some help, just go ahead and press the save button and then press the link and send me the link in the chat. And that is the best way to get some help. So I'm gonna help out David next. Awesome, David, glad you got your 2 lines. Cool, so one thing that might be helpful to you, David, is once you make a line that works, I would just take this line like this and copy it and paste it into the next one. And then now I just need to move it over just a little bit to like over to here, right? So, okay, so the number that moves it over is the 40, right? Because that's the X. So now I need to be at like maybe 25. So instead of 40, I'm gonna try 25. And now I'm super close, maybe 24, something like that. 24.2 or 5, something like that. And then I already have one and I just have to cut it off a different way. Right, so I might start like, okay, well, maybe I'll just extend this one to hit that one. So I'll start like right about here. So negative 32.2 is less than X. And then I want it to go over here to negative 16.3. I'm gonna say negative 16.3, like that. So then I have it. So now that I have another line that I like, I might just go back, copy just the equation, not the restriction. So everything before the bracket and paste it, and then I can move that around. Maybe now I want to move it up to be in this line here. So I might say, okay, I want to move it up to like 18, like that, or 19. And then I can say, oh, okay, good. I want to cut it off right here and right there. Does the copying and pasting part make sense, David? Because you're using a lot of views, so you don't have to type them over and over.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to take a moment to write down the one that we made, the purple one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Jeffer, I know you called me from your room. Do you want to send me your link, or do you have a question?
I have a question.
What's that?
Okay, so I'm trying to do this line for like part of like the symbol. And like I'm trying with different numbers and it seems it doesn't like connect with it.
Do you want to send me your link?
I don't know if I could do because the Zoom's on my phone, so I'm not sure if I can.
Oh, you can email me your link.
Okay.
Probably don't need you all to see my email, so I will stop sharing for a moment.